What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Buddahcast. This is part B of our religion discussion. So, again, without any further ado, let's get into it. And remember, everyone, this is our opinion on everything. You don't take it to heart.
Yeah.
We're just trying to we're trying to tell you about that. You don't need to be a certain religion to fucking, get along with people. You just have to be a fucking nice person.
And please, just be open-minded and try not to judge.
Because even in Christianity, you're supposed to leave the judging up to God.
Yeah.
Or St. Peter, right?
Yeah.
At the gates.
No, well, it's ultimately up. Well, it's ultimately up to God.
Yeah. He's the one who judges you, not.
He's the one who writes your name in the book of life.
He's the one who judges whether you get what you need to get punished for.
But Satanism is actually a peaceful religion.
It's actually very peaceful.
And when they do these rituals, quote unquote, you're doing what's considered magic.
And you are
to Satanists.
Or you're technically asking high-powered demons to help.
Not necessarily.
Yes, read the spell book. Read Anton LaVey's spell book for Satanism. But it's not. The problem is the people who take it too far.
It's a metaphor.
They ask.
It's not
for power. They ask for money. They ask for greed. When I do my ritual and my asking, it's to be a better person, to better myself, to stop thinking of myself as such a fucking lowly piece of shit. And that falls under the depression Buddhacast, which you've already seen.
It's all
watching.
It's all based on the individual.
Yes.
And what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll never personally, I was raised Baptist. I went to Hoffman Town Church, was one of those churches that are like
strict?
No.
Laid back?
No. On TV now.
Oh.
And that's taking it too far. Because you're not, at that point, you're not worshiping God. You're worshiping the pastor. When they get so big that they're putting themselves on TV, it's gone. It
depends.
What did one of the Ten Commandments say? Thou shalt not worship false idols.
Yes.
That is exactly what that falls under. But not with all pastors. Let's get that right. It's not with all. It's not even with most pastors. Because it's with these certain ones who want to make money from their.
They're actually good people.
Yeah. Oh, I've personally gone to a Catholic priest before because I was having a rough time and I didn't know what to do. And I always heard that they were really good with giving advice, and he gave me some of the best advice in my life. This was a little bit after I had exited the hospital for the depression that I went through and everything I went through, and I asked him, what should I do? He said you should stop looking at everything that's going wrong with your life and try to find the little things that are good that you'll hold on to. That was the first time I heard that little bit of advice, and
there you go, man.
He never once told me that you should turn your life over to God. He said, you have a good head on your shoulders. If you think something right, then you should do it. And I mean, yes, I've fallen behind as I got older. Stress got to me. Things I did I'm not proud of, but I have cleaned myself up from it. And I'm doing a lot better. I started working out regularly. I'm eating better. I'm trying to find actual stable goddamn work, as opposed to being out of town for a couple months, then coming back to nothing for a while. I'm doing better, but I'm not where I want to be. Not yet. It's slow progress, but it's progress.
Yeah, they're back to they're rituals.
Sorry, I got on the rant there.
No, it's all good. That's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need. But the rituals of Satanism is kind of it's just a coping mechanism for.
Just like prayer is for Christianity, it's
basically
it's a way to cope with life and make yourself.
Not the same exact thing. It's not the same. It's it's opposite, as well as kind of the same, but it's kind of a coping mechanism, kind of like prayer. Prayer helps you cope
It helps you get by.
With things, yeah, exactly. And the rituals, let's say somebody like, you know, threatens your life, or depending on what they do, I mean, you would cast a certain ritual, right? I think.
Yeah, you would perform a certain ritual, and depending, like, I can tell you for certain some of the things that I have asked for, and one of them was when I was going through an addiction, and I had this part of me that knew I could do it myself, but being so pessimistic about who I am and what I am capable of, I kind of threw that out in my head, and I needed something to help me get through, especially when I got clean, when I went sober for the first time. That was, I can't even describe how I felt during the withdrawal symptoms and everything. Felt like I had shit crawling like bugs crawling all over me. I got headaches. I was having fucking tremors. I was sitting there and like cold sweats and everything. It wasn't a good time, but I did it, and I performed a certain ritual when I first went sober to alleviate some of the stress. And yes, it is a coping mechanism to help me through a hard time, but it works.
It does,
because it gets your mind out of that I can't do this mindset.
Exactly, and it helps you.
And with the physical addiction, that's something I really fucking needed.
It's like with anything though, if you take it too far,
it will end up damaging you more than it'll help.
Exactly, and that's the price you pay. And
or if you're being overly greedy or selfish with it.
And it's
like those people who ask.
That's not the basis of Satanism.
No,
Satanism is actually, they could do whatever they want with whatever resources they get in life. If that means they want to, help everybody, that means they'll help people with the money they have.
Or if they don't feel like helping people and just keeping their life stable, they're free to do that too.
Exactly.
It's not about
that's
living a certain way. It's more of a mindset and kind of like a lifestyle guide.
And us as Christians can't force our opinion upon others. We can't force people to want to believe.
Just because they think it's wrong.
We need them to want to believe.
But if they don't want to believe, you can't tell them that they're wrong.
There's no way we can force it into their mind if they don't want to believe. It's not up to us to rule another person's life. We can't be the judge and the juror of somebody. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter what they've done. We have to pray for the people who are meaningful to you.
And if you want to make a difference and you don't believe in prayer, you have to do something about it. You can't just idly sit by and complain. That means you're doing nothing.
Exactly. I mean, it's up to you to talk to that individual, of course. Yeah. Okay, but
even Satanism is about respect, and so is Christianity.
Forcing your religion on somebody and talking to somebody is completely different. Talking to somebody about their problems or their issues is completely different than forcing your religion onto somebody. Okay, you can be a friend, you can be somebody who listens, and not force what you believe on them, because that's not what a friend does. A friend accepts somebody for who they are, and us as Christians accept people. We have to accept people. Even some people might be misguided, and I'm talking about thieves, people who are running around in the street,
gangbangers, drug dealers,
people who
drug addicts,
who need help, people who are out of their mind, not in their right mind. I mean,
people who lost their way,
but they're stuck in this system. They're stuck in this cycle of events that they can't get out of. And those are the people we should pray for, but we still can't force our opinions upon those people.
And you can't judge them for what's going on in their life because
it's up to them to make a change in their life. Ultimately, it's up to them.
You can't tell them that they have to make a change because they won't do anything. You can tell them you can be supportive. You can have their back. You can say if you ever need. Be a friend to them. Tell them that. Let them know that it's worrying you. If they're doing something that's dangerous, let them know that it worries you, and then maybe it's. You can tell them their opinion on it. Just don't try to force them to change, because if they're doing something harmful, they will see it eventually. If you're being supportive and showing them that there is a better way. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, you're doing this wrong. You need to change," because that's not going to help anybody. This has actually been this has been a really nice discussion. I've actually enjoyed this conversation. It didn't turn it. There was a bit of counterpoint, but there was no actual argument or debate about it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's pretty similar.
It's just basically live and let live. Don't try to change someone who doesn't want to change. If they don't want to change, they're not going to. And even if they tell you they've changed, they're just doing it to make you happy, and it didn't really happen.
And just try to find acceptance. Accept people for who they are.
And it'll surprise you how many people, especially with a lot of opinions about certain people. Like I had back in when all the 9/11 stuff was, like the Saudi Arabia, Baghdad, and the war started and was continuing and getting worse. I had a friend that was with my old security company, and him and his family was from Iraq. And they were some of the nicest, granted kind of gross sometimes, but some of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean, he moved back to Iraq. He wanted to be back with his family up there, so I understand that. But I mean, you can't judge people, from where they're from, be with their religion, or see how they look. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You're not the one who's supposed to be judging people, assholes. I'm serious about that. It's not your job to judge. It's your job to live your life. That is our purpose here, to live your life.
A lot of people
try to find
are misguided. They're misguided.
And we don't mean religiously. It means in their life they veer so far off course that sometimes it seems impossible that they will never get the help they need. But people have come back from worse. People can bounce back from almost anything except for parachute not opening or something. Really hard to bounce back from that. It's not hard to bounce in general. But the point is that no matter what happens to you, your job on this planet is to live your life to the best that you can. Don't hate people just to hate people. Don't fucking judge people because you don't think that they should be living that way. It's not your place to say how they should live their life. It's for them to decide. And if they decide it wrong in your eyes, then just let them do what they're gonna do. You have every right to state your opinion, but don't force them to believe anything, because they won't.
Sometimes it is better just to walk away.
It is. It really is.
I'm for both sides. When you find yourself judging somebody, ask for forgiveness.
And don't even. That's not even a religious thing.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
This is morally wrong to judge somebody,
especially with something that has literally nothing to do with you. I could understand a little more if it affects your life in some way, but 98% of the time, it's something that has no effect on your life at all. Someone else's religion has no effect on your life at all. That's just the way it is. There's no arguing that. That is a fact. Someone else's religion has no effect on what happens in your life, especially if you don't let it. Because if you start causing problems with them and telling them that they're wrong, then they have a right to defend themselves. And then you're in the wrong because you started an argument for no reason over opinion and belief. Not cool, man. Not cool.
Now think about this for a second. I'm just talking to American Christians, United States Christians who call themselves Christians, and who judge Muslims Okay? If you were born in the Middle East, do you think that you would be a Muslim? Do you think that you would be raised a Muslim? Think about that.
There's not that many Christians in the Middle East. It's usually either Muslim or Jewish. That's what you get in the Middle East, or sometimes Hindu.
There's very few Christians, open Christians out in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay?
And usually the ones who are out there get persecuted.
The prominent religion out there is Islam. We have to realize that we are the product of our environment. Okay?
Yes,
we are
we can't
a product
change
of how we were raised, the experiences that we have, and it's all up to us to make a choice. And for a Christian, it's wrong to judge anybody. It doesn't matter what kind of religion they follow.
Judge not,
we can't say, we can't honestly say that a follower from Islam is going to hell. We cannot say that, okay?
Because
Islam
you don't know.
Is a religion based on peace. It is not a religion based on violence or killing. If you find yourself judging, you're committing a sin. As a Christian, you're committing a sin, okay? We can't say that a follower of Islam, a Muslim, or a Buddhist, or a Hinduist,
or a Satanist
is going to hell. Okay, a true Satanist, not
Satan worshippers. Satan worshippers are going to hell. Let me tell you.
Text is misinterpreted. Okay, now you don't fully understand the meaning behind what I'm saying.
These are the teachings of Anton.
We don't have a lot of time. I'm not just speaking about him. I'm talking about Islam. I'm talking about Christianity. A lot of people take that stuff out of context.
Yeah, they do, because they don't read it. Because they don't learn.
They see whatever they want to see.
Yeah, on TV.
They see whatever they want to see in the text. When they read the text, they see whatever they want to see. You have to do years of research, years of studying and dedication to really, truly make a decision, make a choice for yourself. And, you know, even if you're a Christian, you might not really know the teachings.
There's actually quite a bit of Christians who have never read the Bible.
I've met a couple. Okay?
It's weird.
I used to have a friend. He's not my friend anymore because he continued to wrong me, and it's not
negativity like
exactly. I just kind of refrain from negativity, and I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore.
And that's why we're comfortable with talking about this, me and him, because we know we can stay level-headed enough and not argue about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The only argument you and I have had was like yesterday on World of Warcraft.
It was like the first quest we were doing, and we were getting pissed off because
my shit wasn't working.
We couldn't figure out what was wrong with this quest.
Yeah,
I called him right after because I had to actually go to work anyway because I got off. I called him right after, and we just squashed it. That's what friends do.
Oh, I had to get off because I was getting myself too overamped, and I had to stop playing so I could cool down. I did the same thing with a couple other friends when we were playing Brawlhalla. You'll hear it here. Oh shit! No, I didn't record it. But it was a battle called Snowball, and I could not throw. They were up at like 160, 170 point range. I was sitting back at 77. And every time I spawned, they would hit me with a barrage of snowballs and knock me off the level again. So I slammed my fist down on my desk, broke it a little bit, and quit out of the game and just said, fuck. And I sent the Fat Gamer, you'll see him in a lot of videos, but I sent him a message saying, I'll be back, I just need to cool down. Hi, I'm a Rage Gamer. So.
But yeah, there's a lot more to discuss. We are
going to break this into a second. Well, this is going to be broken into a third and fourth episode when we talk about religion's impact on society. That will be the next couple of episodes. But I think we have reached the end of this one, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So, if you liked this episode, smash that fucking like button. As always, guys, live very metal.